Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is your spot. Hell of a program lined up today. We are super pumped for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. On the show, we're going to go back east in 30 minutes. Thomas Gable runs the Borgata in Atlantic City. I can't wait to talk to him about not being able to stop this avalanche of Knicks money for every single game that they have. Proximity is talking there. Mike Palm, juxtaposition here from Circa in Las Vegas and beyond. But how are they seeing the sharp money go for Game 1 and also the series in general? Doug Kazarian on the program in studio a little bit later on has loved betting the NBA for 25 years. And Matt Euman's on the show today as well. We kicked this around, Paulie, about where this one ranks if you want to go back in time. I brought up to you off the air the other day, don't sleep on that Golden State-Boston series.
Yeah.
Because that was like Steph Curry after Durant, and the Celtics were playing out of their minds much like the Knicks are right now, but the Celtics did that from January 1st on that year.
Not even close to me.
Well, no, but that's...
It's for the anticipation. I said the Golden State, Cleveland. Because
10 years ago.
Yeah, Curry again, and we got Curry against LeBron 4 years in a row. The last two, it didn't go well. They swept them and they beat them in 5. But the first two meetings were great, and then the comeback down 3-1. You could argue Lakers-Celtics, and we got that twice with those two series. But I think in order to answer the question, and maybe people could go all the way back to Jordan, I'm expecting the highest-rated finals since Michael Jordan in The Last Dance. I think it's going to have all the makings here. But I don't know if this hurts or helps that both teams are so likable, and you can't hate them. Because you have the alien, everyone wants the 7-4 guy.
Now, you can absolutely hate the Knicks.
Oh, come on.
Okay, Paul.
Oh, they never won. They've won since 73.
I'm not saying that I do at all. In fact, I love Jalen Brunson. I love that dude a lot. But the Knicks are hateable, and that's for one reason why. It's what Linda Cohn brought up. 45% of the fan base is fugazi.
Well, that's a lot. A lot of people do that. Everyone wants to be part of the winner. You have a lot of bandwagon fans. But I don't know if you want to answer that question, does it hurt or help that they're so likable and both teams you want to root for? Maybe that hurts it because also you want to root against the team and the villain and what have you, and whether it was Jordan pro or anti-Jordan or when you had Lakers Celtics that someone hated one of those teams as well. So,
yeah, and I would say enjoy it while you can because in this country in 2 years, if the Spurs are here every single time, rest assured, Victor Wembanyama, you will hear this from people that I'm sick of him already, and he'll be 24 years old.
You are right.
And that drives me absolutely nuts. So It is, I would actually say, what could be bigger than this actually? The Lakers obviously being involved because it's the Lakers, and they still have LeBron James, and they would have Luka. But that's pretty much it, is it not?
Well, I think we saw it, yeah. Jordan against the Knicks in the 93 Eastern Conference Finals, which is the highest-rated conference finals ever.
Sure.
But that was, I would say, Knicks-Lakers is the best you can do.
That's the ultimate.
And if it's 3-2 New York, I think Game 6 could be an all-time sporting atmosphere, environment, and expensive ticket. And I go back to 1994, Game 7, when the Rangers beat Vancouver. You couldn't even hear the guy sing the national anthem. It was so loud.
Yeah, that was all-time good.
So
by the way, if you've never seen that before, you got to go back on YouTube and check that out at some point. It's so good with how raucous the crowd is there.
All the makings.
I'm fascinated, by the way. I think the Knicks are absolutely live to win. I have not bet them to win the series yet. I do have a bet on the game tonight. The number is no longer available. I said this on the show on Monday. I bet them plus 5.5 immediately after the Spurs beat the Thunder. I laid 14 cents with that. And I also listened to the Hardwood Handicappers podcast today with Zach, JVT, and Kelly Bedlin. And I thought Kelly brought up a good point about this run the Knicks are on right now and if it's sustainable. Because I've been going back and forth a lot on that as well.
Right.
I like to lean no, but his point was it's a 7-game series. That's it. I mean, and they have to win 4 of those games. So maybe over the next couple of weeks, it is sustainable. I think he's spot on with that. And so I've come around to that way of thinking, and I would add on to that. Like if we were in the regular season right now and it was like January, February, I would say it's very unlikely that this is going to be sustained for the Knicks because you had so much. At that point you would have so much runway left of the regular season. But now all I have to do is win 4 more games, so I think it is pretty sustainable.
Well, not blowing everybody out. That can't happen.
And they're also taking on now. You're going to go up, by the way, underdog. In defense too.
Yep, and now you're a dog, which they were a dog twice. during the playoff run, and we know how that went. Evan Abrams has this tidbit. For only the second time since 1990, a team that was a dog in the conference finals are now favored in the NBA finals. And that was the Durant, Westbrook, Harden, OKC Thunder, who lost to Miami. But that's the question I posed to you before the show. It's not sustainable to play like this in this 11-game run. Historic what they've done. You have the 8 days off, which I would be concerned about. But the comeback would be, we have seen it, though. The Dirk team with the Mavs, who beat Miami, they got so hot, swept the Lakers in that great run. And they had Shaq and Kobe, but that Laker team that only lost one playoff game, too.
Yeah.
So are the Knicks on that level with how many talented guys they have, their size, their length, how everyone can score, how they've adjusted the offense, and how dangerous they've been? You know, it's up to you how you want to answer that question. This move works in their favor as well, and this has been making the rounds. When I sweep in my opponents off a 7-game series all time, I'm 20-4 to win the series. 20-4 all time.
Oh, they're also very good in game one.
Yeah.
Excellent in game one. That's a very heavy trend going back several years.
Yeah. So that's also right. It's like kind of like, wait a second. I've won 11 in a row, a record margin, number one all-time effective field goal percentage, and I'm an underdog. Is it too much respect for San Antonio? I go back to 2 years ago with the Super Bowl when we know people who are friends with the Patriots coaching staff. And they asked them their thoughts on the Super Bowl. And they said, Eagles are going to kill the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Trust me, it's going to be a blowout. And once we got closer to kickoff, they asked other coaches, and they said, oh, Kansas City are going to get killed. And they were right. When Windhorst talked to scouts and GMs, they're stunned at the series price. They think it should be a pick-em or the Knicks should be favored.
Oh, boy.
They cannot believe the series price.
Oh, that makes me like the Spurs then.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I would trust the scouts and the GMs here, but to each his own. But that I found that interesting as well, that they don't dabble and look into this, but GMs and scouts are stunned that the Spurs are this heavy of a favorite.
Here's the overall Game 1 trend going back. Scott Seidenberg, VSiN host, tweeted this out after the game on Saturday night. Playoff teams coming off of a Game 7 win against teams off of a 4-game sweep are 3-14 straight up, 4-13 ATS in Game 1. I think I had a bet on the Knicks plus 5.5 before I saw the tweet, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll have first quarter numbers coming up, by the way, in about an hour, because you like to think that Wemby and the Spurs are so good in the first quarter, and they are. The Knicks have also been a machine, as you would expect, based on their current form.
Yeah, number one.
Awesome in the first quarter.
Number one. How about the Wemby quote, which we're going to get into? People are bringing up the similarities to the 95 Magic. When Shaq and Penny knocked off, and it was Rusty Jordan. He came back after baseball, and he wasn't ready, and they shocked the Bulls and then went to the finals, and they celebrated too long. Shaq said they went to the club, they couldn't come off the high, and they got swept by the Rockets.
Yep.
People are also bringing up the inexperience, too, which some people rule it out now because we're in the finals. But if San Antonio wins, number one, it's the biggest long shot to come in, 65-1 before the season, and Fox is the only guy who had playoff experience entering the playoffs for this organization.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, that Magic team, after they beat Jordan and the Bulls 4-2, they had to beat the Pacers yet in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they did 4-3, and then it was the Nick Anderson series, basically. What happened against Akeem and
the Yips.
So here's Victor Wembanyama on his emotions of the Spurs following beating the Thunder over the weekend.
Coming back down from this is a challenge, and it's not done yet. We still need to really come back down to earth and realize that we haven't done the hardest yet. The job isn't done at all. So we still got about, I don't know, what time is it? Like 30-plus hours to recenter.
So that was as of yesterday morning.
That's a money quote.
Still have not come down from the win.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
You big underdogs, you beat the defending champs, and now you got to go out and finish the job. I do think it helps that they have Pop, though, and they're talking to Pop every single day, and how they think of him, too. This blew my mind. So they open up like, they got $2, $1.90 series favorite. Since 1990, 33 times a team's been priced in that range or higher. They're 29-3 all time. The 2004 Pistons upset the Lakers. The 2016 Cavs mini upset over the Warriors, and the 2019 Raptors won. It's only 3 times that's happened in this price. So that also surprised me. Yeah, that's it. That's 1990.
What was Golden State laying against the Cavaliers? Do you have that?
When they were the 70 win
the 73
team?
win team? They weren't huge favorites?
They were higher, yeah. I don't know how high, but I'm talking like 190 or higher. But they've only lost 3 times in that range. We knew the Lakers were a huge favorite, like $1,000, $9.
Oh, they were massive,
range.
yeah.
And the Pistons took them out in 5, should have swept them.
I remember that. My buddy just sold his house here in Las Vegas.
Put the house on it.
And he said, okay, now I got some money to play with here. And he put $7,000 on the Lakers to win $1,000. And he called it free money. They lost in 5 games.
Yeah, I'm shocked by that. You don't get more upsets. And we haven't seen it since 1990. It's only happened a couple times.
This is good for the sport, though.
Oh, no doubt.
Where you have back-to-back years where a team, they were 65-1 in their range to win it. And then huge odds, obviously, to win their conference before the season started and throughout the season, much like the Pacers last year. And that went 7. A game 7 of this series would be on Friday night. I just can't wrap my head around that.
Mm-hmm.
What a weird job by the NBA. Rather than have it on, I remember that game 7 of the Warriors and LeBron and company, that was on Father's Day night. I remember because we were out to lunch on Father's Day, and I'm like, we got to get home and watch this game. Let's dance.
Yep.
And it was incredible when it folded. We have much more to get into for game 1 tonight. Also, will the point spread matter at all tonight or in the series? Recent history tells you no way. I'll expand on that coming up here on VSiN.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
It's a loaded Thursday on Money Moves. You don't want to miss it. Chris Vasili, handicapper, is going to join us to get our first look at the World Cup, which is just around the corner. EJ Raddick stops in as well from the NHL Network. We've got to get his thoughts on the Stanley Cup's second game and whether or not we'll get a scoring slowdown between the Hurricanes and the Golden Knights. And Mitch Betts stopped by in studio. She gave us her best bets for the National Hockey League and a little mixed martial arts as well. Don't miss it. It's Money Move, 11 to 1 Pacific, 2 to 4 Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So I absolutely do think the Knicks are live to win the game tonight as well. I have not sprinkled on the money line yet. I also think they're live to win the series. But for the game itself now, and this is a conversation that we had the back end of the Spurs-Oklahoma City series, again, where it's like, I don't think the point spread is going to matter. And it never did. Either the dog won or there was a blowout by the favorite. Mm-hmm. And in the NBA Finals, the last 11 years, Mackinnon called this ridiculous. 62 3-3 ATS for outright winners, 95.4%, including 7-0 ATS, a sweep last year. That meant the point spread never mattered at all. So by me taking like the Knicks plus the 5.5 the other night, I thought obviously, yeah, they can probably win the game. And I think, will the point spread even matter a single time at all in this series? Maybe not. It really hasn't at all. 95% of the time the last 11 years hasn't at all.
The 8 days off doesn't bother you. Could we see fatigue for San Antonio?
Yes, we could.
You can? Okay.
Yep.
They've played 4 more games than the Knicks. And I think it's a big deal. And we ran down the stat earlier, though, that I'm off a sweep and you're off a 7-game war. See, and the Knicks also should have gone 3-0 against them this year. Some people want to throw out the regular season. Okay, that's fine. But I think the Knicks will go up-tempo. I think the Knicks will push it. I think they'll get this a whole different ball game for San Antonio defense. You could argue both, I know, because the Knicks haven't faced a good defense yet, and this is a top 2, top 3 defense. But they dared so many guys for OKC to just go ahead and shoot that 3. And all these guys for the Knicks can shoot. They're potent, they're dangerous, and 41% from 3 in the playoffs. So you have that too. But I got to be concerned about cat fouls, no doubt. I don't care who he's on, who he guards. You cannot put him on Wemby, but the fact don't matter. He could be on you. He's going to pick up 2 dumb fouls with what he does. So that's something. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. And we got Scott Foster on the game. And the Knicks have covered 9 in a row in the playoffs with Scott Foster. I cannot believe Tony Brothers is going to do one of the games.
Oh, it's absolutely
That's
sickening.
embarrassing. But you got Foster to kick it off. So at least the extender won't be, hopefully he doesn't get involved later in the series. But we know Wemby's going to be on Hart. That's also big. Allows them to roam, and they're going to dare Hart and leave them open, much like the Cavs did. And can they make them pay? We'll also see Castle on Brunson, and I expect Brunson to probably try to guard Champagnie on the other end. But a lot of this, I don't know. And I'm interested to see what happens with how these coaches adjust and who's guarding who, and is OG on Wemby, and how does that play out? And could you argue the Knicks have 3 of the top 4 players in the series?
Oh, man.
Is OG better than Castle? I say yes. I think I have 3 of the top 4 players.
You might. It depends on, Castle would be number 2 for San Antonio, I would think, unless Fox all of a sudden goes back to 2023 Fox. What if Dylan Harper just continues this play as a 20-year-old, which can we expect that? I
don't think so, but he's proven me wrong. You're not supposed to do this, but he's been incredible. And that's the story of this team, why no one saw it coming.
One comment that you made there is that, questioning whether or not the regular season meant anything. Remember that in the NBA Cup game, Knicks were trailing going into the fourth quarter, and the Spurs were great for the first 3 quarters. That was a game in which Wemby was still coming off the bench.
Correct.
He only played, I think it was 24-ish minutes or so, and he was off the injury. So what does that have to do with tonight? However, remember, there were people who doubted what the Spurs did to the Thunder in the regular season. And
That's true.
They said the regular season probably doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Now I get it. The Thunder were banged up as well. But certainly the Spurs can play the Thunder even at even strength. They can play them pretty damn close the entire time. So the team is really good. And I kind of want to say that the results did mean something in the regular season, but Wemby's going to play 40 minutes.
Right.
So that Cup game, I kind of have to throw that one out.
Yeah. And it's hard to get it past their record when the guy has played 15-plus minutes, and they only lost 2 games in the regular season, I think, from January on. And one of them was to the Knicks in the Garden when they got humiliated, although it was a back end of a long road trip. And then that epic game on that Saturday in Denver, which they lost in overtime.
Yep.
So
also, Harrison Barnes started 2 games in December.
Oh, God. Okay, I forget about him.
So
I know he has playoff experience, but the guy doesn't play. So
it's a completely different team.
He's not going to get on the floor. Hart said he must be doing something right, and it's a compliment that the unanimous Defensive Player of the Year is guarding him. And this is also interesting about putting the ego aside and doing what's best for the team. This was hard earlier when he wasn't getting a lot of minutes in the early parts of the season.
Nah, I definitely didn't see the bigger picture, in those moments. There was moments I went home and I'm like, damn, man, am I ass? Like, do I suck as a basketball player? There's a lot of those moments. Whenever your minutes go down or you get benched, you have those that thought process. But for me, it was like, okay, how can I build off of it?
It was ugly. This team is soft. They can't beat good teams. They had that rough stretch.
They made a mistake with the coach.
Absolutely. All of it. And even down 2-1 against Atlanta. Now, everything has changed now, how they played. And that was a good comment from him and how they play in team basketball, and everyone knows their role. And I love what they're doing with Towns, and I think we'll see more Towns assists as opposed to what the Cleveland series looked like, where it was more Brunson and let's just attack Harden. I think you'll see more assists from Towns, and he's only 3.5 at Caesars tonight.
Let me throw 3 numbers at you with this Knicks run that they're currently on. And this goes for the entire playoffs. The Knicks are number 1 in jump shot efficiency, not close. They're also number 1 in opponent jump shot efficiency. Yeah. Like those 2 things, again, can they be there? And is that sustainable for the next 10 days? Maybe. Seems a little unlikely, and certainly if we had another month to go this season, I would say no. They're also number 1 at rim efficiency. That is the one that's probably going to have to come back to the pack.
Yeah.
And I will go back to what SGA was saying after the series. Like, they got this dude 7. Like, what's it like for Jalen Brunson tonight and in the series when he gets by the first initial defender, depending on how they're going to be, like, screening and the cuts are going to be there, and then he gets into the lane, and then there's Wemby waiting for him. Like, does he change how he's going to operate towards the rim? Does he kick it back? Like, how does that look? Sure. I kind of want to see.
Sure. It was a great line from a GM. Take your analytics here and stick it. You can't account for fear and intimidation and how you can play a one-man zone with this guy. That leads me to Robinson, who was awesome in a couple of the games, but how limited is he? He's going to play, but the impact he can have. Offensive rebounding period, and containing on Wemby. We'll see what happens there. This also, I don't think, is sustainable. Opponents in the playoffs on wide-open threes are shooting 32% against the Knicks.
Sure.
I would think San Antonio makes them pay. Champagny made 11 in one of the regular season meetings.
Yeah, and by the way, he's not shy, and neither is Vassell. Vassell. Right. So, it's those 2 guys, if they're going to get open looks, they're going to take 8-10 a game probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the question is, how many times will Wembanyama have an open look? And, is that, because you don't know. Like, some of these games, he'll take 8 threes. Other games, he might take 2. And so is he going to be out there floating around? And will the Knicks present him a chance to actually make it from 3? I think his attempts in game 1, 5.5. Does he take 6 attempts tonight?
No, that's too high.
I would say that's worth a bet to the under.
Oh, yeah. I got to see how many times, because I know you want the attempts for Hart. Because if he struggles early, they're just going to leave him wide open.
Sure.
And dare him to shoot. He had that awesome game against Cleveland when he had 26. But that'll be interesting to see how aggressive he's going to be and how they're going to let Wemby roam and what that looks like. But I'm coming around on OG MVP, and I bet that at 40-1. But based on what I think it was Cohen with the Iguodala comparison, that he could score and what he could do defensively and contain or limit Wembanyama, and he's going to get a lot of credit there. But that's a big price. You look at all this stuff, rebounds, MVP, who's going to lead in points. There's some big prices out there if you can get past Wemby or Brunson.
Yeah, I got a doozy for you today on who's going to win the MVP. I'll tell you a little bit later on in the show. But I found OG at 70-1.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and what happened, I'm going to bring it up in the air, and I'm going to name the sports book, and it should be illegal, and I actually want to reach out to the Nevada Gaming Commission.
Oh, what was it, sent to traders?
I'll tell you a little bit later on in the show. I was so mad. I'm like, I don't know how they get away with this crap. My blood is boiling right now thinking about it. I'll tell you a little bit later on in the program.
Looking forward to it. Championship season's here. VSiN Pro can help you bet and make you smarter for a limited time. Lock in the early bird pricing on the football special. Just $175. It comes out June 22nd. How to attack futures, win totals, upcoming season. You got the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, Belmont, MLB. The sooner you sign up, the more value you get. Full access to everything we do through the Super Bowl. 175, lock it in, VSiN.com/subscribe. That's also every best bet, every host, every guest, the real-time betting splits, AI-powered prop projections, and the 24/7 video as well. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get there now.
More great numbers at VSiN.com. Steve Makinen with this. The last 43 games in the NBA Finals, 69% to the under. And both of Makinen's models said under 218.5. Market agrees. That's now down to around 217. We're going to go back east up next. Thomas Gable in charge of the Borgata. I can't wait to hear how popular the Knicks have been and these playoff games have been with this team involved. Coming up next here on VSiN.
Biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
This is going to be a very fun conversation. We go back east now. Thomas Gable joins the program. He is the man in charge of the race and sports book at the Borgata in Atlantic City. I can't wait to hear the perspective from the East Coast. Thomas, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
Doing really well. What has it been like here with this magical run based on where you're located with this book and the casino and the Knicks? It's an all-timer that they're going on right now. Scorched earth against every single opponent. What has it been like at your property?
The momentum continues to build, and it's just beginning of the playoffs. I think the fan base, the New York fan base, was maybe, I would characterize, cautiously optimistic there in the Atlanta series. I think everybody was expecting big things from the Knicks in the playoffs this year. But, and especially after Philadelphia dispatched Boston, that's really where I think the Knicks fans started to believe. And obviously, when that Atlanta series ended and the run then that the Knicks have been on, and just the offensive rating has been off the charts, obviously, here with the last few games. And the futures conversation I thought was very interesting when, they had obviously already swept Cleveland and were in the finals, and the OKC and San Antonio were obviously still battling it out. In the West, there was conversations starting to be had about what's the future prices look like for the finals, depending who the next opponent is. And the prices were kind of all over the board. I was here. I mean, some of the national books I saw were like projecting maybe San Antonio being with $2.70. And somebody asked me, and I'm like, only half jokingly said I would make it a pick just because of how much Knicks liability we had built up at that point. But honestly, after San Antonio then got to the finals, my goal really was to try and be 15, 20 cents worse on the Knicks than any other price out there for the series price. And so we opened up 165 on the Spurs. And even yesterday we went to 150.
Wow.
And so it was like, we just I didn't want any more New York money. And it's what I can kind of equate this to just in terms of the feeling around the tri-state area. And during this run, I go back to what we experienced with the Philadelphia Eagles like 4 years ago when the year they got to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs and lost to the Chiefs that year. But the feeling around that team and end of the regular season into the playoffs, and just the amount of casuals, I wouldn't even say casual bettors. These people weren't bettors. They were just coming in as fans and investing money on their favorite team. That's what we're experiencing now with the Knicks. You have people who are, not bettors in any sense of the word, but they're coming in and they're betting the Knicks to win the title because, it's obviously New York has been starved for an NBA title for, I haven't seen one in my lifetime. So it's just the fact that, you have the entire city around this team because it's not like baseball where the fans are split between Mets and Yankees or, in football. Every person follows this basketball team. And my apologies to the Brooklyn Nets there, but that's just the truth. Everybody in New York follows the Knicks. So it's really something. And, even us being at the price we're at for the series, like when I went to, it was plus 125 I was offering on the Knicks series price yesterday. We're still taking bets on the Knicks at that price. You could go anywhere and get a much better price than the Knicks. It didn't matter. So it's going to be a fun series, I think, overall. We've seen it game to game, certainly in the Sixers series and in the Cleveland series. Just the amount of support that this team has been getting now, outside of like the first game, I think of the Cleveland series where that worked out okay for us. We got carried out, certainly in game 3 and 4. We just got carried out with the results there.
Yeah. How big are these decisions? Are they NFL type decisions? What's going on with this?
Yeah, I would say certainly in the last couple games of the Knicks Cavs and even OKC San Antonio Game 7. I mean, those were football. You're writing NFL type handle on these games, and
yeah.
I certainly expect that to be the case here tonight with Game 1. We're 4.5. And you're seeing some. You can still get a 5 out there. Most everybody's at 4.5. Some places are juiced on the Spurs there to 115. But I truly expect the handle to mirror easily what an NFL regular season game is, and potentially approaching what an NFL playoff game does for us. So. It's just that popular, and the place is going to be packed tonight.
Yeah, and you're getting hit from all directions though too. Like it's the great equalizer supposed to be the point spread, but they've won 11 in a row and they've covered 10 of them. How easy it's been and blowing people out. So you're getting the money line they're covering to win the series, to win the conference. Can you share the story? I think it was Memorial Day when they closed out Cleveland and swept them. What it was like in the book?
Yeah. Yeah, so that game was Friday and night of Memorial Day weekend, and I had left and went over to Caesars for dinner, and I came back, and it was late third quarter, and the Knicks were up by a good margin at that point, probably 13, 15 points, and I walked back into the book, and the place was standing room only, and every single basket, every single rebound, it didn't matter, was getting just cheered by the Knicks faithful, acting as if like the game was truly on the line and that it was, a one possession game, which certainly was not the case. The Knicks were blowing them out at that point. And just, it was an unbelievable scene to walk into. And, a lot of people obviously celebrating because they were going to have more money in their pocket after that game concluded. But, it was just one of those things that you remember, and you're going to remember that years later, walking into something like that, because you don't see that type of thing every day.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're a big basketball fan. You've texted me, in fact, before tip time for a Philly game, Sixers playing at home, and you had great seats. Have you ever been to a playoff game at the Garden? Would you consider going to one of these games if you could?
I don't know if I could afford it, Mitch, to be honest.
I know. I didn't know about the connection there.
The get-in price, the get-in price is going to be pretty steep, and it's certainly I don't have quite the celebrity status there to get be sitting next to Spike Lee or anything. So, but yeah, I mean, listen, if anybody can, it doesn't matter. Obviously, a playoff game or NBA Finals game is out of reach for a lot of people, but if you've never been to the Garden for a basketball game, period, whether it's college or pro, do yourself a favor if you're on these coasts, get there and get to experience it because the Garden's like no other place.
How about this? You might know Paul Bovey, professional sports bettor. He was on the other day. Yeah. He's had season tickets since the 80s. He said he's going to all the games. He made the decision. He's not going to sell any of them.
Good for Paul. I've met Paul a couple times, and good guy. And, yeah, I mean, listen, if you're a longtime Knicks fan, I don't know how you honestly could. Yeah, I mean, if you don't need the money, it's, you want to experience this, and, you're happy to see that for the fan base for sure. Certainly be a better financial result for us if they come away disappointed.
I bet. The way it sounds.
I mean, it's, I think the Knicks certainly have more than a fighting chance here. I really do believe that. With Robinson and the obviously he had the broken pinky there, he's going to be compromised. But the fact that he's even playing, even with a brace, I think is big for them, because while he doesn't ever really give them much of anything on the offensive end, just his presence in the paint, on the defensive end, being able to grab rebounds is going to be huge overall. And, the Spurs are such a young team. I know they're going to come out. They're going to hunt for Brunson or Cat on the offensive end and hunt for those guys. But I think a lot of this series, the Knicks' fortunes, I think, are going to rest on Cat's shoulders. You're going to get what you need from Brunson, I really think Cat has the opportunity to put this over the top for the Knicks. If he can stay out of foul trouble, that he's going to be the deciding factor.
Great perspective, Thomas. Thanks for the time. Enjoy the game tonight.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thomas Gable,
Well done.
man in charge of the Borgata Racing Sportsbook in Atlantic City. Yeah, but that's Paul, by the way, that's a true Knicks fan right there.
I see both sides of it. It's $4,500 to get in price for Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get $50,000-$60,000 for Game 6, I mean, it's a tough call.
Win, lose next, a 14, 15, and 20-1 all cash. Paulie will give you the details next here on Follow the Money.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All right, before we came in, Schneider was 100-1 in play. She upset Sabalenka, the French Open. She won the first set, and she was up 4-1 in the second set. Lost that set 7-5, and then 6-love to lose. 100-1 in play. The upsets won't stop.
Well, by the way, did you hear the Sabalenka quote today after the match?
Yeah,
I just want to quit.
I don't like it. I know.
Oh man,
it's tough. That's vicious. Most runs last night. Pirates 14-1. Highest scoring game. Pirates Diamondbacks 9-1. Most strikeouts. Harrison did it again.
Good.
In a weird night in baseball, Martin had nothing. Schlittler had nothing. Harrison delivered with 12 Ks, 6-1. The daily specials. Hockey was something. Fastest goal in the Stanley Cup Final, Game 1 since 1976. Eiler's first goal was 15-1, 2 goals, 20-1. I reached out to DraftKings. I didn't hear back. Caesars offers it as well. I don't know what goal in the first minute was, but they do offer that. I didn't see it. But what do you have? First shot of the game to be a goal.
Yeah, Caesars tweeted this out last night during the game. A bettor here in Nevada put down $18.51 on the first shot to be a goal. It paid a little bit shy of $352, so it's about 19-1.
Not bad to offer that. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
What number would you need to bet it? The first shot to be a goal?
I know. Should be more than that, but still. At least it's offered and available. Yes. It's kind of like what's the price for goal in the first minute? No? Because the Colorado Avalanche kept doing that in the regular season. Carolina has scored first 12 of the last 14 games. Goal in the first 5 was plus 190. Carolina's played 6 straight overs in the first period. All total over 8.5, 5-1. Golden Knights team total over 4.5, 5-1. Theodore anytime plus 725. Hurdle, what a shot. Beautiful shot. Anytime plus 385. Stahl plus 460. Carlson plus 480. Phillies 130 up to 160. Glad we mentioned Harper owns Vasquez. He went deep. Harper also has good numbers against Buehler. Cleveland plus 175. How about that? Cam, what happened? And the Brewers 180 up to 260. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Imagine you see this guy coming at you. Here, you just pick him up like he's a pet Komodo dragon. Walking in. It's a beast. It's a dinosaur, how big that guy is. Setting him down. Oh,
this is a real video?
Yeah.
My Lord.
Bigger than the human.
Yes, he is.
That guy walking around.
I want to be that guy, though. I want to have the onions to be able to be like, hey, Frank, I'm going to pick you up. We're going to go for a quick ride.
I don't get it. It's like the people in Florida playing with the alligator and stuff. It's
like Steve Irwin.
Yeah, right. This is more tame. More stuff in our wheelhouse. The bullies. Love the bullies here. Man, look at this. The coat, how nice they look. Put them in the stroller going for a walk. They like this, can't get enough. Not too tired from the walk? Got to put you in the stroller? Carry you guys?
Just
look like the
beautiful dogs.
I know.
Look at the coat on the one on the left. It looks like an Oreo cookie.
Absolutely. Love them. That guy's got like 5 of them. 702 Bullies on Instagram. Missed one last night. We briefly mentioned it. Oh, boy. The Chicago Sky. They've lost 5 in a row and been blown out in 4 of them. They were favored last night.
Yep.
And they were routed. And the Royals are now 2-14 against lefties with another loss as Cincinnati got there. Sharp Play's been with us since day one. We love Jeff and the crew. They do an excellent job. Start winning with them now. Alerts directly from the pros. Real-time global betting info, and it's all sent out right away to subscribers. AI betting analysis, the daily Mr. Poison tweets and updates. Unmatched transparency with records updated daily. Get the telegram as well. Get it all. SharpPlays.com. Start winning. Respected, watched, and feared. That's the Sharp Plays. SharpPlays.com.
What is your reaction to Game 2 now and the numbers? Here at Circa, Carolina's up to $1.60. The total is 6. Yeah. Under is minus 20 cents. You want to go crazy and say, hey, that's the way the series is going to play out now? That was an absolutely bonkers game.
It was. But that's weird stuff can happen in Game 1s. So, again, they made a lot of mistakes, and they were sloppy, just like they were against Montreal. I think they figured something out, and they figured out Hart Ferraro mentioned it several times, blocker side, and they had success there. It's got to be tough. You score 4 goals at home and you lose. And then if team's up 2 goals and had won 55 in a row.
Sure.
So I didn't see what Vegas was in play, but Tortorella calling the timeout, not screaming at him. Here's what we have to do this. That worked out beautifully, but I think they will bounce back and respond. Brenda Moore said they just made uncharacteristic mistakes and sloppy and ridiculous. Freddie gave up 1 soft one, but I would say under 6 in game 2, and what we saw was a bit of a fluke.
I think I'll come back with play under 6, and I already played the scoreless tie again. 125-1. They bumped it up for me.
All right, good.
I mean, if it plays out like 5-4 every game, then so be it, and it's going to be an exhilarating series. But you have to, this absolutely speaks to experience overall of a championship-like winning team, and a lot of the parts are there from that 2023 team. They never lost their composure, and they talked about it after the game.
Yeah.
The
one thing that would concern me about under game 2 would be we had 9 goals, none on the power play. But I can look, Freddie gave up 1 soft one. One of the goals was a double deflection. You had the mistake early on with the first goal.
Yeah.
The hurdle shot was beautiful, but that came off a silly turnover and mistake. And Vegas, that should have been icing. Tortorella was right.
I agree.
That shouldn't have been icing. That resulted in a face-off, and Carolina scored on the face-off. So there was a lot, but I could say 4 or 5 of those shouldn't have happened last night. So a lot of mistakes. They'll clean it up, and I think we'll get I think Carolina will win the series, and we'll see lower-scoring games now.
All right, Knicks in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. In 1994, one of the all-time moments happened in the history of our lives, basically. And if you're in our age group, we're upper 40s, or maybe a little bit younger than that, you might remember it. Certainly older than us, you will. What happened on June 17th of 1994. And this is a pretty good reminder from comedian Dan Reagan to any former athletes out there in the next 2 weeks.
The Knicks are playing the Spurs in the NBA Finals. So, dear current and former professional athletes, if you plan on committing a crime and then going on a low-speed chase on a major highway, can you please wait until after the finals are over? Signed, 1994 Dan.
Very good.
Yeah, we don't need that again.
Knicks fans were so pissed off when they went away from the game.
Can you blame them?
And then one of the guys was a Howard Stern fan, and that's when he called up and did the Baba Booey at the end with I see OJ, he looking scared. And they had Al Michaels, who was a fan of the show, had farcical call there.
Yeah, farcical call. Get him off the air, please.
He used something in code there of a talk show. It's an all-time moment. It's an all-time moment.
Of course.
Between the chase and what are you doing? Knock the guy off the road. What's this? A police escort. What are we doing
it is.
here?
What, are you going to let him drive 300 miles here wherever he wants to go?
In an all-time horrible moment for SoCal people. Cheering him on the freeway.
Yeah, not a good look there.
No, it wasn't.
No, terrible.
It was just that was a good reminder of what happened and transpired. Bob Costas, are we leaving the game? Split screen? What are we doing?
Can you imagine today?
What's the equivalent? I say The Rock.
I don't even.
The Rock. OJ was huge.
It was good. He was big.
Tom Brady, The Rock, something like that?
Yeah, somebody like that, sure. But, I mean, what would they do? Would they cut away?
I think you have to at least go split screen.
Well, now...
I don't know. It's a tough call.
And
but they left the game entirely.
That's what I can't even wrap my head around.
I know.
But here, would they go... Because is the game on ABC tonight?
Right.
So they would probably keep... Well, ABC might go to the chase. They'd have to either keep it on ESPN or go to ESPN2 or something like that, or ESPN News.
Yeah.
And then they would probably track the white Bronco going down the freeway for 6 hours. What's going to happen here? Nobody knows.
Right.
Just let him go.
Toss the gun, Juice. Come on. Toss it. You're scaring people. Tom Lang was great. Toss the gun.
That wasn't... You're right about he was big. He was so big as a football analyst, but also, he did stuff out... the Naked Gun was only, 4 or 5 years old?
Well, he endorsed Hertz and
sure he did, yeah.
Deal spokesman, yeah.
He's the all-American man.
That's right. Yeah. I'm not black. I'm OJ.
Yeah, that's right.
Another great line. But between that and the chase and then the verdict, I mean, that was... We used to work at a radio station. A sports radio station would carry the coverage of the trial every day.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. the Tim Meadows sketch on SNL when he was supposed to be OJ during a game, and he's breaking down the telestrator, and he spells out, "I did it," and it was so great. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Game 1 tonight, Monster. We'll discuss props and derivatives coming up, and we'll tell you what some scouts and GMs have said about some of the betting numbers, and also, we all think that the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama have been great in the first quarter, and they have. What about the Knicks? We'll tell you coming up next.
If you're looking for an edge in MLB player props, VSiN delivers with data you can trust. VSiN Pro subscribers now get exclusive access to MLB player prop projections powered by Opta AI. Get